The first time I tasted the Sunrock Syrah in the early 2000s, I wanted to visit what was surely a physically unique piece of terroir. The intensity of the fruit was well beyond the valley norm at the time, and I knew it had to be site-driven. Dave Carson, winemaker, and Troy Osborne, director of viticulture, both have a long history of wine growing in the South Okanagan, and we met at Sunrock, now 20 years old, to discuss its place among the valley's best vineyard sites. When was the first time you tasted Sunrock fruit?
I worked with the previous winemakers, and Brooke Blair was the winemaker at the time, and I had an opportunity to taste through the wines with her and realized it's a beautiful site for those late ripening reds and what they could really bring. I mean, I was astounded that people talk about wines throughout the Okanagan region, and we're very well known for our whites. But when it comes to a site like this, we can really produce those amazing reds. So it was with Brooke in those days.
Could you taste something different in the wine, or?
Well, I think it's the intensity is what you're getting through. You know, I think the Okanagan is a mix of old world and, elegance and new world robustness. And I think the Okanagan is, it's a blend of those. So in a site that's like Sunrock, that's as hot, and the soils, the very well-drained soils that really control vigor, we're able to stress the vines, and Troy and the team do a great job of getting that fruit to that really ripe level. So I think we can shift it more towards those really rich, full characteristics.
Sunrock is not just a spectacular piece of mountainside, but rather an integral part of the daily weather that influences the site year-round. Acting like a massive heat sink, it captures the daytime sun and returns it to the vineyard after sunset.
Because we're 50 degrees north, that doesn't really get talked about a lot, but it has a huge impact on what we can do here. You look at growing degree days as the gauge, but you layer on the fact that we get, a few extra hours of daylight.
More than a few. I don't even know what goes on when you get up in the morning. Like what time is the light up in the Okanagan?
I know they talked about watching the sun come up here at 6:15. That's probably about an hour late. Yeah. Because it's early at this time of the year. On a summer day, the difference between the top of this block and the bottom of this block would be probably 3 to 4 degrees difference, and you can really see it over the course of the growing season. The bottom, it's a 14-acre block, and at the bottom of this block, which is only, a couple hundred yards away, we have about a week and a half difference of ripening between top of the block and bottom of the block. And I think that just really speaks to the diversity of the valley, that you can get that much of an effect in such a small area.
When you speak about the exposure of the vineyard being that southwestern, and you get that afternoon sun, like you said, Anthony, but I mean, that really brings to my mind is the rock. Because you're getting that afternoon sun, which is really intense, baking on that rock and really heating it up. And not only are you getting a lot of extra extended light just because of our location, but you're getting those extra heat.
You're getting late night warmth too.
Yeah.
When you talk about this valley and what varieties we should be hanging our hat on, but it's just too bloody diverse to make that call. We've got a south-facing slope here, we've got a big rock, we've got the effect of the lake. It's great for late ripening reds. Now you get up to, a north-facing slope, like say up at See Ya Later Ranch, where you're higher elevation, you're cooler, tend to be heavier soils. You tried to grow Cab Sauv or Shiraz there, it'd be a disaster.
Yeah.
And we can't grow, the varieties that they grow up there well. We could grow them, we could ripen them, but you're not going to get the flavor.
They're only a few kilometers away.
That's right. As far as learning viticulture, I don't think that there's a better place in the world, because you can grow pretty much everything well if you've done your homework and put the right variety on that site.
Tucked under a massive vertical rock cliff facing southwest and draining into Osoyoos Lake, it's as if it's been waiting for grapevines all its life.